The word hello is always the first important thing. It opens so many doors. How you say hello to somebody tells you who you are. I could have come up here and gone, oh, hi, yeah, I'm me. But guess what? That's so conceited. It gets me nowhere because one, you won't like my attitude, and I certainly won't like yours. So hello with a smile. Do the best that you can. Let the person know that you're somebody and you've got something to say. There's something you want to do, or there is something that I want to find out. Because everybody's got something to say. So hello, and how you introduce yourself. Okay, so here I am. I'm Valerie M. So I'm going to go get a bit about what I do. And there's lots. Apart from just being a singer, I run events. I fell into that by accident, luck. I facilitate corporate media and world issues events as well. In the UK, people ask me and says, "Oh, do you know where I can get this? Where can I get a singer from? And because of my music background and the people that I've met, that's where the networking started. But I didn't think that anyone would come to me and ask my help. Why would you ask me? What the hell do I know? I just I got on the stage and I sing and I strut my ass. That's it for me. But I felt honored that after everything that I had done, someone said, could you help me? But how did I start? By accident. And don't laugh at me. I really did start by accident. I'm going to go, there's all the pictures. We'll go through all of that. I mentor. I try to, inspire. I get a lot of people coming up to me in the music industry, the youth always saying, I need a manager. Can you manage me? And so when I give them the advice and say, have you been to school yet? They look at me like I'm stupid. Well, hold on a minute. You want to be a singer, you want to be a rapper, but you can't count from 1 to 10. Hello? What's that all about? Okay. So you can't, all right. Oh, you can count to 1 to 10, but your grammar is so poor. How the hell are you going to rap? Who's going to understand you? Because guess what? You're chatting shit, excuse my French. Yeah, because, I come from the ghetto. No, you don't. You live down the road. Your mum's got a great house. It's so nice. She buys all your clothes, and then you're hanging your trousers down, and you got the latest trainers. You're not from the ghetto. Stop pretending. Get an education, and that's how I break it down to them. Some don't like it. Yeah, I wear the trainers. I might do the American thing, but guess what? I can afford to do that because I did my homework. I laid the ground rules. And my dad, God forgive me, my dad cried. The day I went into singing, he hated me because he had paid all this money for me to go to university. And all I wanted to do was, as I said, shake my ass on the stage. And he was like, no, not having it. And I defied my father. My mum was going, in her best Jamaican accent, leave her alone. She's all right. She'll do okay. I didn't really do okay in the beginning, I must admit. And then I wanted to instill well-being in workplaces, and I'll get to there how I got there. I'm a writer, yes. And I've gone, what else? What else do I do? But I know I'm laughing about it all, and I have to put a positive spin on this because I started out not as a singer, but wanting to be a lawyer, believe it or not, because I felt that I could make a change. I knew that I had the mouth, I knew I had the ability, and I hated someone telling me no. Don't even think about telling me no, because I'm not having it. You need to tell me, why does no work? When someone says no to you, you go, oh, okay. No, you don't. Why is there a no? There are rules. You follow those rules. But rules sometimes are meant to be pushed, those barriers. You push yourself. You push those boundaries. Don't let someone tell you can't do something. Because if we followed the world today that you can't do anything, do you think that some of us would be standing here? No. Do you think your parents will be where they are? Hell no. Because guess what? They had to fight for everything they have. I know about this Romanian country. I've got a few friends here, and I've been here a few times, so this is not my first time here. And I had to learn the history that I'm privileged. But guess what? So are you. The only difference is we're just in a different country. And we have different rules. And, yeah, we're westernized. So what? Every country, no matter what the war is, the differences and the back struggles and everything else, you are the next generation that's going to grow to change that. Whether you be a writer, whether you be a singer, whether you be a lawyer, whether you be a doctor, whether you be a mother or a father, everything starts with you. Remember what I just said? Anything you do starts with anything is you first. So even though you're here and your mother and father brought you up, you've already learned. You've learned. You've already broken off that tree. And now you're going off into the world. So you've learned. Just remember that. That's one thing I'd love you all to take away, because that's what I had to take away with me. I knew I had skills, the mindset, and guess what I ended up doing? Because I thought I knew it all, I ended up studying mechanical engineering. Wow, that's going to help me being a lawyer. I'm going to stand up in front of the judge and go, Your Honour, guess what? If you do it like this, Your Honour, you're going to turn the lathe this way, and that's not going to help me. But guess what? I wanted to do it. I don't know why I did it, but it sounded good, and I still had no idea what I wanted to do. One, I knew that I could sing because I sang in the church from the age of 10, because my grandmother forced me as black children to go to church. We always had to be in service every Sunday. I know this is a Christian and a Catholic country. You've got mixed, religions. Black people's religion is not easy. Let me tell you that now. If grandmother says you're going to church, she don't care if you've got no shoes on your feet. You're being dragged to church. And that's just how you begin. And so once you can go, Lord, they go, whoa, she's a singer. So everybody thinks that all black people can sing. Hell no, you should hear some of those voices. It's pretty piss poor, I can assure you, right? Trust me on that one. But because they think that they had this color skin, it was like, oh, I'm great. No, you're not. Sit your ass down. As far as I'm concerned, they all was instilled inside the church, though. No, you cannot be outside running on the street. Things have changed now. From when I used to go to church with my parents, the guys, the youth don't see the struggle anymore because everything is being given to them on the plate. I'm not saying this is what you have. I can only speak from my experience. Things were not handed to us on the plate. We had to really go out and value the pound, as we call it, okay, the sterling or the euro, or, the monies that each country, you had to value that. Now they don't, because it's just given to them. Or guess what they do? They rob your ass for it. And because they think it comes easy. No, it doesn't. So, going back to what I said, it benefited me to end up doing what I did, all the courses that I could. But where I actually ended up is a whole different story. Because by the time I graduated, I was nowhere being a lawyer. I had all the certificates, and I wanted to be a studio engineer. Woo, but it never happened that way. I ended up being a secretary. Would you believe that? Nothing wrong with being a secretary. So even if you're a secretary in here, don't laugh, it ain't funny, because it's all right. Get good money. It depends who you work for. You could become the boss's runaround being a secretary. And believe me, I hated it. Because I used to look at him and think, in my head, don't even try it today. But I had to smile and go, yes, boss. Cup of tea, is it, darling? Okay, get you a cup of tea. In my head, I'm going to kill you. Because it's not what I wanted to do. It really wasn't what I wanted to do. My headphone keeps coming off because I've got slinky hair. But anyway, I do my best with it. So I ended up being a secretary, and I wasn't happy because I knew I could do more. And I thought, is this where I'm going to end up? Do I continue because I want to make money? Because money is not everything. I know you're going to say I'm lying. I'm telling you, money isn't everything, because it doesn't bring you the satisfaction of, as your creative mind, your work mind, the things that you want to change or be an innovator. It does not get you there. I can tell you, it really doesn't. Luckily, after temping in different countries, I landed in a law firm who took the chance to teach me about law, and I worked my socks off. And by hook or crook, I used to walk around singing in the office. I mean, I was too busy partying, to be honest with you. So even when I knew I could sing, I was like, yeah, whatever. Come on, girls, we're going out tonight. And it was great. Every weekend, left uni. It was like, oh my God, it's party on down. Valerie, you can model. So guess what? I modeled in between. Did all the bits, got the money, still partied. Oh God, Val, you can write. Really? Okay, I'll write. But still partied. What the hell am I doing? One day, it looks like where I was so busy partying, someone turned and said, that girl can actually sing. I still didn't take it serious. I really didn't. I networked through day and I went to drama school. So watch what I'm doing. I wanted to be a lawyer. Guess what happened? I ended up being taught to be a legal executive. I went to court. I defended people in the courthouses. You would never believe that for someone who sang. But that was because I wanted to be a lawyer. And I got the chance to do it. Secondly, I thought, I wouldn't mind acting. Because everyone kept telling me I'm always acting. Now, I'm not acting now. I promise you. Right? But everyone kept saying, oh, you're good at that. You can act. I thought, I'll give it a shot. I did. Back home, I ended up being a presenter for a few music shows. Ended up writing a few scripts. Hate me, I'm sorry. I cannot stand musicals. And I'm a singer. I hate it with a passion. But I give my heart to anyone that does it because it's hard work. It really is hard work to be do musical production. But I got involved and I couldn't wait to run. I thought, you're not getting me again. But I know how it works. I asked, how did they achieve their dreams? I researched. I made contact with other people. I knew that I wanted to do something. I knew had to be creative. But what is it? I ended up being a jack of all trades, but not mastering anything. Because there was too many things I wanted to do. And I had different heroes, but there was no one really inspiring me. Because if your parents aren't inspiring you, there's got to be somebody that you look to. Even if they're not in front of you, there's a book, there's a writer. There's somebody in life that's done something. You know what I'm saying, because when you look at singers on the stage, forget about me, because I've done my shit. But you've got other singers out there. I'm not going to call people that Adele. For me, I love Adele. Anyone knows Adele here? Come on now. Girlfriend's got it going on. She's not skinny, she's herself. And she sings from here. That's my kind of singer. My kind of singer is someone who writes how life is. When you're brokenhearted, you're down, you don't know where the hell you're going, but something inspires you to get the hell up and get on with it. Because every day is a beautiful day. You might not see it as a beautiful day, but every day is, because only your own mindset is going to take you there. Whatever it is that you want to do, your own mind is going to take you there. And other people are going to pull you in other directions because it looked really good. Oh, that looks nice on you. I want that. It doesn't look good on you. Take it off. Because it might look good on her, but it ain't going to look good on you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's a fine balance. What might look great for somebody else, it doesn't mean it's not for you. It doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. But if you have and you know it's not working for you, let it go. Really let it go. And that's what I had to do in the end to find out who I was. I networked. I ended up writing music, short stories, and I dreamt of being a script writer. I did productions and everything, all the productions. It was great. One day, didn't even know the guy was a producer, and he said, I'm looking for a singer. I just looked him in his face and carried on walking. I thought, yeah, you all say that, because I'm now working at one of the biggest record companies in the world as a secretary. Sony Records. Who would have thought it, eh? Me, a secretary running after those singers, the Beyoncés and the Genuines. And I think, who was that at the time? There was, oh my God, we had these big acts from America. It was Jay-Z and Lenny Kravitz. And I'll come back to him in a minute. Damn, right? And then the record company said, why don't you ask Valerie to sing? Because she's always, singing in the office. And guess what? The first note came out of my mouth. I ended up with the first top 10 hit around the world. One song. I went in, did one take, and that was it for me. I never looked back. I laughed. As a matter of fact, it didn't really hit me until when this happened. These are just pictures I'm just showing you. I've networked around. Oh, there's my lovely Dora. I wouldn't have known about you lot if it weren't for Dora. Because guess what? That was networking. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? around the world, this is not a bragging thing. This is just how you are as a person. You meet so many people in your life. You end up friends with them. Now, Facebook is a very strong medium. Facebook can break you or make you. It depends the message that you're putting out on Facebook. It really depends what you're saying on Facebook. So remember when you're putting things up, yeah, we're having a laugh. But those places are strong messages because not everyone has the same mindset as you. Not everyone is strong they might think you're talking about them. Have you seen some serious arguments going on Facebook? Oh, she called me this. And shut up. Just let someone have a laugh. But be positive if you can. Ignore the fighting. I like a good fight on Facebook. I'm sorry. I just get a laugh and think, how stupid is that? Oh my God, you see that person? And I think, oh, Valerie, stop. You can't be watching people fighting. But, sorry. But everyone to each his own is what I'm trying to say. Facebook is a very strong medium. And I networked around the world and ended up meeting those 3 pictures, I'll come back to it in a moment. But Dora is one of the reasons why I'm here today. Dora Pop. And it was just a chance meeting with this young lady. And I was just about to get on stage and didn't have a clue. Actually, I should tell the story. I thought she was dating my boyfriend. And I saw them walk in and I was like, what? But I couldn't say anything because I'm not like that. So I had to put on the drama face, the smile. And there she sat down next to my boyfriend. And I thought, who's that? Because he had travelled in before me. He came in the night before me. And I'm like, you haven't told me you've got another girlfriend? Well, you shouldn't be, because I'm the girlfriend. So there she sat, and I had the face of thunder. And it's only when he called me over and I said, who's that? He goes, that's my friend Dora. I went, all right. And I went, hello, how are you? And we started talking. That's how I met the beautiful Dora. Because I looked at her and I said, she's gorgeous. Not a competition. She just is. She had a very lovely personality. But it wasn't about networking with Dora. It was because it was her smile. She had this way of making you feel welcome. She would allow you to talk, but she absorbs. She takes it all in. And I don't get the chance to see Dora that often, but just this weekend alone, in my experience, and I don't know how much people do know about this young lady, I found her to be very captivating and innovative because she sat and she listened. She's stressing, cigarette after cigarette. And I'm like, oh, God bless her. She's gonna have a coronary soon, but because she wants this to work, this seminar to work. So, to cut a long story short, I met Dora, and here I am today. But before I finish, I'm going to give you why I'm glad I'm here, because one day in April 2005, I got off the plane with Groove Armada, and we had been on the road 18 months. I'm talking about not seeing my parents, my siblings, my friends. My clothes were being freighted around the world. And this is how we can take things for granted. I got off the plane and I turned and I said to my boyfriend, I said, I don't feel well. He said, don't be silly. I said, no, seriously, I don't feel well. I said, I'm going to go back to the flat, drop all the bags down, and I'm just going to make something to cook. I'm going to cook some food. Me cook. I'm takeaway girl. But I said, I'm going to cook. So I went out. Maybe that's what God punished me, because I probably poisoned myself. I cooked the food. And within minutes, I started bleeding from my ears, from my mouth. This is something that, and I'm sharing this with you because I've never done this with anybody else before. I've never talked about this. So thank you for bringing me here. And I think it's only because it's going to take me a couple of minutes because I think my time's up. I collapsed, didn't know what happened. They cut my clothes off from the house, got me to the hospital, and I was given 24 hours to live. Now, I don't know this. I just remember being in pain and gone to the hospital and told, well, not me, they told my partner, she's not going to make it. So they cut my hair off, stuck a tube down my throat, and prepared me to die. Enough time to get my parents to the hospital. My mother had a heart attack just got to the hospital because she thought, that's it, Valerie's gone. And we had just finished the tour in Australia. So the story had already hit the news, blah, 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 back home in Australia, the world. As I said, remember, I don't know this. I didn't realize that there was such an outpouring. 6 months later, I came to, because I was on a ventilator. It was my mother who said, do not turn that machine off because she's not dying. Now, I can tell you this, that while I was still under, because I was in a coma, I remember hearing the machines, but I thought I was out partying. I kid you not, because the machines are like, so I, in my coma state, was having the party of my life. I was hearing everyone talking, and I even heard a nurse and a doctor having the affair, Dr. Brown and Nurse Sonia having an affair at my bedside. But I'm in a coma. I swear to God, on the one mother's life I have, right? This is what I know, and so I'm sharing this with you. I don't think I'll get the chance to share this again. So I'm just asking you to appreciate my journey, okay? I woke up 6 months later, but when they woke me up, they had to unfortunately put me back under. But when I woke up, folks, I couldn't talk, I couldn't walk, I couldn't clean myself, I couldn't do anything. For another further 4 months, I had to be cleaned because I didn't know I pooped myself. I had to learn to talk again because I had a tube. The only thing they didn't do was cut the hole, because if they'd cut the hole in my throat, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. I'm not going to go through it all, but what kept me going was the fact that I wanted to sing. And 4 months later, it was after 10 months of being in hospital, and they came out with a Zimmer frame. You should have seen me like a granny. I came out in the Zimmer frame, and I didn't care. I was not ashamed. I was just glad to be walking again. I was glad. And the first thing I did, couldn't walk, they picked me up and put me on the first flight to Budapest. And I got on the stage with my Zimmer frame. My mum doesn't know this now, and she hears it came from you, right? So I kid you not, it was my birthday, the 4th of November. Right? And they put me on the plane, and I remember my boyfriend, do you know what he did? He dumped me the week after because he couldn't believe that he had gone through all of that with me. But he couldn't understand what I was trying to say to him. You don't understand. What inspired me was the fact that I wanted to carry on singing against every single what the doctor said. You're never going to sing again. You're never going to be able to do this. I said, no, you're damn well not telling me that. And here I am, as a testament today. So I'm going to go now, because there's not much more there's just a lot of things that, I wake up every day, it's a beautiful beginning, that's my mindset. Yeah, before I get too emotional about all of this, what I now do, I go into workplaces and I instill well-being. I ask men to check for prostate. I ask everyone to check their blood pressures. And I've instilled this in a lot of construction companies. I don't do construction, but guess who did? My dad. So I'm paying my dad for all the hard work that he paid for me to go to uni. I'm paying him back and say, guess what, Dad? I know you wanted me to work with you, so I'm going to go into construction. On top of the singing, and I go in and I talk to everybody, like what I'm doing with you today, telling them to take their health seriously. When you work somewhere, if your boss is on you, walk away. Walk away from them. Stress will kill you. These are things that you haven't even experienced yet, but it is in the workplace. If you've got an idea, put those ideas to somebody that will listen. If you get knocked down, take the idea to somebody else that would listen. There's always someone that will be able to listen. I'm going to leave it be. These are the places I've worked at. I've helped out with people. I'm done and I'm dusted. That should be it. One person that has... today I've got a march. Unfortunately, I should be at home. I devised this. There's a march back in England as we speak, and I'm gutted because I've been blogging this because we've got a war on our hands back home. The guys are stabbing and killing each other, and I feel very strongly about it. So these are the things that I still do on top of all my singing, and that's just how life is. So I want to thank you guys for listening to me. I've got to go. I've got to get a flight back home, and it was a pleasure meeting you all. Take care.